The Kevin Durant Minnesota Timberwolves story gets juicier by the minute because the latest reports coming from Shams is very interesting and very intriguing. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, I need to talk to you about 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis, because 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis completely transformed our bathroom in 48 hours. Don't wait 6 to 8 weeks for a bathroom project to get done. Get a full bathroom remodel done in 48 hours. Take a look at these pictures if you're watching on YouTube. We had a disgusting look, a floor that was blue, a shower that was moldy, and they completely changed everything. We had a brown vanity, one sink, outdated, disgusting, ugly, and embarrassing, and there's really nothing we could do by ourselves. And then we found 5-Star Bath Solutions in Minneapolis, and they transformed our bathroom in 48 hours with a new sink, one sink to two sinks, new floor, new vanity, new shower, got rid of the mold, new tub, new surround, new everything. 48 hours. Affordable payment plans, free consultations. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis is your solution to a bathroom remodel. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. All right, let's break down this Kevin Durant Timberwolves story. So Shams, just 17 hours ago, says, I'm told Kevin Durant has no desire to be in Minnesota with the Timberwolves. Uh-oh. The Timberwolves have been the most aggressive team when throwing out names to acquire Kevin Durant. And that's no surprise, because the Timberwolves have a new ownership group and they want to make their mark on the franchise. And they also have Tim Connelly, who is, without a doubt, the most aggressive decision maker within an organization, I would say, in any sport of professional athletes, because the dude is aggressive and he makes trades and he makes moves. He wheels in deals. I think he must get a high from doing so. But so far, whether it was with Denver or with Minnesota, all of Tim Connelly's moves have proven to be good moves. Now, John Krasinski, the Timberwolves insider for The Athletic, wrote this the other day. It says, the Suns have made it clear to Durant's camp that they need to prioritize the best return for the team in a deal. What's more, they appear focused on landing the kind of impact players who can help now versus an opposing team that will prioritize draft picks. The Wolves would seem to have only options available to offer, with Rudy Gobert or Julius Randle headlining a package that could give the Suns hopes of contending. With the offers from the Spurs, Rockets, and Heats coming up short to this point, league sources say the Suns are still hopeful that Durant might warm up to the Timberwolves possibility. The Timberwolves do not want to make a seismic change to a roster that advanced to the Western Conference Finals if Durant is not on board with the move. Team sources said the question now is whether there's any chance of Durant coming around to the idea. What makes this so fascinating is that Anthony Edwards has said time and time again that Kevin Durant is his favorite player. And he idolized him growing up. And when the Timberwolves beat the Suns last year in the playoffs, you could see how Anthony Edwards took that series personally and was going after KD. And what's also interesting about this is that Durant now has the opportunity to leave Anthony Edwards at the altar. Because right now, it is entirely in Kevin Durant's camp. And what is important to consider is that Kevin Durant is on an expiring $54 million deal. The team that he is traded to, he is looking to sign a reportedly 2-year extension with that organization. So it wouldn't be a 1-year deal with Minnesota. It would be a 3-year deal with Minnesota, which, okay, is Minnesota not willing to offer him a 3-year contract extension? Or does Kevin Durant not want to play 3 years in Minnesota? And what's also at factor is that the Spurs and the Rockets have young blood within that organization, and they are building that organization up slowly with Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, and other young studs on the Spurs. And the Rockets also have a younger core that they're slowly building up together. And these teams do not want to depart with any of their young superstar players, or that will become superstar players, for a 37-year-old Durant that really hasn't won anything in terms of team accolades besides his run with the Golden State Warriors. So there's really a rub here. The Timberwolves are the most interested team. The Phoenix Suns are most interested in what the Timberwolves have to offer, but Kevin Durant might not want to play 3 years for the Minnesota Timberwolves organization. And what is also at factor is that Durant wants to go to the Spurs, but the Spurs don't want to give up all of their young pieces to acquire Durant. Because according to the report, the Phoenix Suns do not want draft capital. They want players that can step into an organization with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and compete for a playoff spot. What I also find intriguing with this whole process is the value of Kevin Durant. Because even LeBron James at 37, every NBA organization would line up out the door to trade for LeBron at 37. And now you got these organizations bidding for Durant's services and trying to woo him to their organization. And they don't necessarily want to give up these big core pieces to acquire Kevin Durant because they know the same thing I know about Kevin Durant. And it's that his last few seasons, although spectacularly statistically, and his numbers are insanely good and have not dropped off a single inch, still shooting 52% from the field, averaging 26, 27 points per game. As far as where he takes a team, hasn't really been there besides the time that he hopped on the shoulders of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. So you see that some teams are hesitant to give up the farm for a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. And the Timberwolves are offering reportedly Rudy Gobert, Dante DiVincenzo, maybe Rob Dillingham, and a few first-round picks. And the Phoenix Suns are looking for a return like that, which is also crazy to me. It's crazy to me that the Timberwolves could trade Rudy Gobert and Dante DiVincenzo and Rob Dillingham maybe for a 37-year-old still superstar player in Kevin Durant. Obviously, I believe the Timberwolves would win that trade. The question with Durant comes not this next season, but the seasons after that. If he signs an extension with the Timberwolves, will he be worth the amount of money the Timberwolves will be forced to pay him? And will he get the Timberwolves to that next level of NBA Finals contending? Because as much as people want to say the Timberwolves contended for an NBA Finals this year and last year, the truth is they didn't. They made it to the NBA Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, which hadn't been done in Minnesota since like 1980 by any professional organization. But the truth is, they lost in 5 to Dallas, and they lost in 5 to the Thunder, which means those series weren't particularly close. So it's not like Durant is going to enter Minnesota and just get them slightly over the hump. He needs to take this organization to a place that it's never been. Because the Timberwolves, although they made it to the Western Conference Finals, were not particularly close to the NBA Finals. So it's not like Durant's going to come in and the expectation is, okay, just get us a touch further. No. Durant needs to step in to a Timberwolves organization and take them a ton further. He needs to take them leaps forward, not a hiccup forward. And the question is, can Durant do that when he hasn't done that for any organization by himself? Now, he would have Anthony Edwards, but he has not done that for an organization without Stephen Curry and Steve Kerr. So I would have my doubts about that. But just looking at the trade head-to-head, I would rather have Kevin Durant than Dante DiVincenzo and Rudy Gobert. Now, would I rather have Durant in 2 years? I guess we'll see what happens when it gets there. But that's the risk. Because will Durant at 39 years old be the guy that he is now? Will Durant be able to take an organization like the Timberwolves to the place that they are paying him to get to? And how does that affect the rest of the roster? With Edwards getting paid and Jaden McDaniels getting a sizable contract as well. And how does that impact the depth with Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker? I mean, the truth about the Timberwolves this offseason is that they're not going to be able to take everybody back. Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, one of those guys will not be back, maybe two. But we'll have to see what happens there and which player that they decide to bring back and don't bring back. Because Julius Randle has a huge say because his decision is not the Timberwolves' decision. It's a player option. So he really dictates where he ends up next. So this thing is kind of all over the place. Durant to Minnesota, is he going to get there? The question that the Timberwolves need to answer, and Durant needs to answer, is does he want to sign an extension with Minnesota? Does Minnesota want to give Durant an extension? Or is it a 1-year rental, then you try to reshape your roster with some younger talent that you don't have to pay so much? So the Timberwolves are going to continue remaining aggressive. And it's clear that they want Durant. But will Durant be willing to shift off of his take of having no desire to be in Minnesota? Because we saw this during the trade deadline last year, just a few months ago. The Warriors wanted to trade for Durant and not Jimmy Butler first. They wanted KD back with the Warriors. And Durant, for some dumbass reason, said, No. And he leaked it and said, I ain't playing for the Warriors. I don't want to go there. Why? Why exactly? But he's kind of doing the same thing right now with the Timberwolves. He's leaking information to the media saying, hey, I don't want to play in Minnesota. My best guess would be that a team like the Miami Heat or the San Antonio Spurs will be willing to give up enough to acquire Kevin Durant's services for their team. That's my best guess on where Kevin Durant will end up. So that's the take. Thank you for watching and for listening. Remember, 5-Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. Check them out today. Everyone, I hope you have a good day. And thank you for going on this podcasting journey with me.